Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for May 2021. We are going to jump right in here, Gemini, and we're going to take a look at your current general energies in this first row. In your second row, we're going to look at any messages from your future self. In your next row, two cards, we're going to look at anything unexpected coming in for you. And in your last row, we're going to look at any messages or advice from your future self, or from your guides, I should say. This deck is upside down. So we're just going to flip these over here, Gemini. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's coming in for you at this time, Gemini. But Gemini, let's see here. At the end, by the way, I will be pulling three yes or no question cards as well. And if you don't have three questions, that's okay too. I will be just answering all three together, just as like a personal-ish reading. So, Gemini, let's see what we have going on for you here, Gemini. In your current general energies, you have the Starfish Spirit. I love this card. It says open to infinite possibilities. So it's a really good card for accomplishing, a lot of different things in your life, or for accomplishing just a lot in your life in general. So I feel there are going to be, this is just saying be open to surprises, in a lot of ways. Just kind of like glancing over the cards, I'm noticing these there are like these stars in certain places, like right at the end of the wand here. I'll show you in a minute. At the end of this wand, there's a star on the Six of Swords. There's a star on the King of Swords as well. So it could, and you have the starfish, obviously, right here. And so I feel that, kind of opening to different ways of doing things will be very important. We even see that here. In this row, you have the Two of Swords, Magician, and the Nine of Pentacles. And in your current general energies, I feel like you could be feeling a little stuck with the Two of Swords, trying to find like some middle ground, either with a person or just, in your life in general. And the Two of Swords can represent needing to make a decision. It is a card of compromise, and that is kind of like popping into my head for you here, Gemini, that there's some sort of compromise that needs to be made here. And, it's not like popping into my head as, you or your person, if you're dealing with another person. It's like there's just like it's almost like this is saying there's a third place where it's like if you're trying to compromise with a person, if you're trying to come to an agreement at this time, in any area of your life, this is saying that there is like a third place where everybody can kind of be happy, if that makes sense. And it's not even I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. It's not like a compromise. It's not like, sometimes people think like if we're compromising that we're sacrificing something we want, right? Where it's kind of like a compromise is nobody gets what they want. But that's not what I'm getting here. I feel like there's a third place that you're creating in your life, if that makes sense. You have the Two of Swords, Magician, and the Nine of Pentacles here. A lot of abundance and success coming in for you here, Gemini. I like this a lot. I feel that for a lot of you, that you're getting to this like Empress energy here. You have the Ace of Wands. For some reason, I thought you had the Empress. We're going to clarify these rows. We're going to see what comes up. But the Nine of Pentacles is kind of like the Minor Arcana version of the Empress. It's a card of gratitude and luxuries. I feel this is something that you're trying to attract in your life with the Magician. It's like you're trying to attract this Nine of Pentacles energy into your life. You're trying to attract a life that is kind of like beautiful, pleasurable, a life where there's like happiness and good things coming in for you. And this is like what you are working towards at this time. We're going to clarify this. And I always do this, Gemini, with these cards. They're much bigger than the other cards I use, so I never give myself enough space here to actually draw out the cards. But you have the Page of Swords here, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. You can have whatever you want, Gemini. I think I titled one of your, if I'm not mistaken, I think I made the title of one of your recent readings, You Can Have Whatever You Like, because that's kind of like what this is saying. Queen of Wands is an energy of setting your mind to something. She is a card of wholehearted energy. She puts her heart and soul into something that she wants to manifest, and she does not stop until she accomplishes whatever it is that she wants. So I feel that if you embrace that energy, if you kind of dive in head first and give something everything you got, you'll clearly be successful here in this row. For others, I am getting something about needing to stick up for yourself here, especially if you're dealing with like children. So again, take it how it resonates. Every time I say something about children, people are always like, "I don't have children." Not message is not for you then if you don't have children. If you have children, right? I shouldn't have to clarify, but I do. Then what I would say here is that there does look some of you clearly are dealing with something involving a child. This could be a divorce, especially with the King of Swords. What I would say is that the King of Swords is a good card because it's law and order. So if you're dealing with something involving a child, it is popping into my head kind of like a side message that there is going to be law and order. Next, in any messages from your future self, you have the Pleasure card. So obviously there is going to be a lot of happiness coming in for you. There are two portals here in this row. You have this Pleasure card, and then you even have on this King of Cups here, there's like a ship sailing through her. And yes, I said King of Cups on that card, but this deck has 4 versions of the kings that are female, and so the ship is like sailing through her on that card. It's like your future self is encouraging you to go through something, right? And I feel like your future self is encouraging you to make an emotional decision here because of that King of Cups. I'm really focused on that ship sailing through her on that card. There are like many decks where the King of Cups, the emotions are kind of displayed as internal on the King of Cups, even though on like a traditional King of Cups, the water is choppy outside of the King of Cups, which represents, choppiness in the waters outside of the King of Cups. But, in a lot of ways, I feel like this is saying that your future self wants you to make a decision that could be an emotional decision. We do have the Death card here as well. I love the Death card, but normally on a traditional Death card, there is a person who is begging the Death Rider for something, right? And there's a king that is dead normally on the Death card as well. So it's a good card. It represents a positive transformation. But I always say it can represent a difficult transition. And even with the Six of Swords, rite of passage, going through something, it's like your higher self, or your future. I feel like this is your higher self and your future self. I feel like both kind of are encouraging you along to go through something that could be emotional, to make a decision that is going to be emotional. I don't want to scare you. Again, I try to keep all my messages positive. And people always accuse me of being too positive, but I always say tarot isn't positive or negative. It's advice, number one. And if you want it to be negative, then your life sucks. There you go, right? If you want it to be positive, this is something, you're watching tarot so that you can make your life better. You're watching this so that you can improve upon whatever it is that you're going through. And what I would say here is this does look like you going through a rite of passage, something emotional, but it's like your future self wants you to go through whatever this is. You could argue that the Six of Swords really says your future self wants you to go through this for growth, because the Six of Swords, normally there's a guide in the back of the boat. The guy standing in the back of the boat on the Six of Swords kind of represents a guide or someone who goes back and forth between choppy waters. So you could make that argument, but for you, this is like for a much bigger transformation. Let's see what this, let's see what this is, this decision, what you're doing. Page of Pentacles here. I feel like this is a decision you have to make. The Nine of Wands to try again, or just to not give up on something here. Ace of Cups here as well. For some of you, I get this feeling that you are, I guess the best way I could say this is that some of you, I feel like you need to be careful of giving your energy to a person where it's like you're not getting anything back. I just see you kind of like investing your energy into a person, and it's just not moving forward. It's just not going anywhere. For some of you, I feel like the Nine of Wands would really say that you could be giving your energy to someone you've been dealing with for a while, or you could be giving your energy to a person that from the past. And this is basically saying, while you're giving all your energy to them, it's like all your energy is on them. And it's almost like distracting is the energy I'm getting here, or it's preventing your energy from being used somewhere else in your life. So I do feel for some of you, the emotional decision you have to make is to pull your energy away from a person. Here, maybe they're not a bad person. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying, for some of you, obviously they are. But what I am saying is that this is kind of like you needing to protect your energy is what I feel like this part of the reading is asking for. And you have the pleasure card. It's a card of happiness, card of good things coming in, but it's like there is that portal here. We consider these doorways in tarot to be like portals. And it's like you have to go through something so that you can get to the other side, so you can get to this, pleasurable life. But I do feel some of you, this is about letting something go. That's intuitively what I feel on that row. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have the yin energy card and the time to go card. I didn't even see that. and there you go. It is time to leave something behind. I feel like you are doing this. The funny thing about this yin energy card is that it says you almost have to do nothing to go through this portal. It is a card of kind of like more passive energy, or doing something more passively, which, technically, if you withdraw your energy from a person, that doesn't require any effort at all. It's literally just like, it's like I have a choice right now. I can focus on this deck over here, or I can focus on this iPad right here, right? So it's like all you have to do is shift your focus. That's all you have to do, and it requires no effort at all. That's what this yin energy is saying. But what I would say to you is that you're realizing that you have to put boundaries up. You have this Nine of Wands here, and you have the Ace of Wands. Ooh, really interesting, Gemini. I didn't even notice this, but I'm going to tell you something. We have the King of Swords, Nine of Wands, and the Ace of Wands here. This Nine of Wands, it's like there's this rose with these thorns on this Nine of Wands here. And on this Ace of Wands, it's like there's a new beginning, and there are no thorns on that flower right there. It kind of looks like another rose. So for some of you, I feel that there is a major new beginning coming in for you here. And it could be in love, and it's probably with a person that doesn't have any thorns. Trust me, everybody's got their bugaboos, right? No, po buddy's nerfect, as they say in the office, right? So it's like everybody has something wrong with them, and that's what you need to realize. So I'm not saying that there's a person who's coming in, this person coming in is going to be absolutely perfect and not have no bugaboos, nothing wrong with them. But again, I feel like someone from the past hurt you many times. This person, wounded warrior over here, and then you have the Nine of Wands here, and she's got these scars all over her body on this card. So it's like you're moving towards someone who at least won't be hurting you all the time, like this Nine of Wands person, if this is a love reading for you. The King of Swords, I do feel, is your energy, Gemini, but it could also be a person I have noticed that you, in particular, keep getting the King of Swords. The King of Swords could just be a mature person coming in for you, and again, it doesn't matter what gender you're attracted to. So if you're hoping for love, this could be a person who just carries themselves in a mature way. A lot of people say King of Swords is someone that's older than you. That definitely can be true, but I have also found that sometimes the King of Swords can just represent someone coming into your life who's mature, who carries themselves in a mature way. They could be younger than you, but they just carry themselves in a very mature way. So I like to see that. Let's see what's going on here. Nine of Cups. Yep, I feel like this person will be wish fulfillment for you here, Gemini. Ace of Swords, the truth coming in here. Definitely a victory coming in for you as well. Again, there's this overarching message here in your reading about making a sacrifice. The Ace of Swords is a good card, but there is a palm frond on one side of the sword here, if you can see it, and there's an olive branch with olive fruit on it on this side over here, palm frond, olive. Palm fronds in tarot represent making a sacrifice. The olive branch can represent an offer of peace, but it can also represent abundance. I feel that this is saying there's a new opportunity that is full of abundance for you here, Gemini. And also balance. The Ace of Swords is balance because there are these two sides here. They have these 6 golden yods on either side of the Ace of Swords, and those golden yods represent things coming into balance, or they represent perfect balance. And so I feel there's a balanced person coming in for you. Now, this is something you've had to kind of like experience and fight for. I do feel like some of you have been through kind of like these relationships that have caused a lot of conflict in your life here, Gemini. For others, the Five of Wands, I actually personally like the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands to me is a card of conflict and competition, but it doesn't say stop. These people, they are fighting here on this card, but they're using sticks. They are learning how to fight. So the Five of Wands to me can represent going on an adventure. So for any of you who are thinking about like moving, traveling, starting something new, I would get moving here because again, there might be some conflict. like I said, in this area of messages from your future self, there might be some challenges making a change in your life, but it's probably going to be for the best there, Gemini. So I would definitely do it. Next, in your last row here for any messages from your guides, I feel like your guides are like tugging at you. Like I get like more of a gnawing feeling here, Gemini. Like I feel like almost like a mouse, like chewing is what I would say here. It's kind of weird, but it's like something is nagging at you, and and you could be having dreams. I get this uneasy feeling. I feel like sometimes we have. I don't know if you've ever had those moments, Gemini, where it's like you're laying in bed. It's maybe like 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're not like awake, you're not asleep, but maybe you have that like an uneasy feeling in your body. That's the feeling I have right now. That's the best way I could describe it. And it's kind of like one of those feelings that makes you get out of bed or makes you wake up, right? So I feel in a lot of ways that there's something that is kind of making you, I feel like you feel it in your stomach. Like I feel it right here in my gut, right? And so I feel this like uneasy, it's almost like anxiety, that anxious feeling that you get in your stomach here. And that's what I'm feeling here. But it's almost like, seeing something coming in the future, like that there's a change coming in the future, there's something for you. I always say on this card here, it's like there's like several levels actually here. There's like several different platforms on the card here, and I feel your guides are like saying there's even a face that is peeking out of this top platform there, Gemini, and I feel your guides are saying like, hey, come over here. We want you to improve your life. We want you to grow, right? And you have the Eight of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the Three of Cups here in this row. It's like your guides, like, look at this. There is the Eight of Wands, quick success, a conclusion, and then you have the Four of Cups. There's like a goose or something back there. Yeah, I guess that's a goose that is holding a umbrella over this lady here. And she has a bunch of umbrellas here on this Eight of Wands. I feel with these two cards, it's like your guides are saying, like, hey, there are opportunities coming in for you that are going to lift you up, but you have to take advantage of these opportunities. A lot of these opportunities are going to involve other people here, Three of Cups, because the Three of Cups is a card of community, and pretty much for like the past 6 months, all the readings have been about community. All the readings have been saying that if you want to grow, then you're going to have to work with other people, or you're going to have to, deal with other people in some way. And this doesn't have to cost money, as I always say. This could be one of those things where you could be building an online community on Facebook or something like that. I always say, like, this is pretty easy energy to work with. It's really interesting to me that it always shows up in this row as well. And, like, no matter what sign I'm reading for, whenever I get one of these community messages, it's always showing up in advice from the guides, basically. And what I think is interesting is it's kind of like the guides are saying, like, hey, you just need to focus on the people that you surround yourself with. And so I feel like there is a major focus, and this is like a collective energy, but it's something I would pay attention to because obviously you are one of the signs that are going to be benefited or are going to benefit from this kind of like community, like, working together type of energy, whatever you want to call it. But I feel like there's good news coming in for you here as well. I feel like your guides want you to dream big, and I also feel like your guides want you to experience like greener pastures. Four Cups is a card of thinking the grass is going to be greener on the other side, and normally the Four Cups says that the grass is not greener on the other side, right? Because the Four Cups is kind of like a card of disappointments, or it can be. It's not though. It's really a card of apathy. It's really a card of just being like, oh well, life is what it is, and this is as good as it's gonna get. I feel like there you go. There's your confirmation. Something dropping on the roof. But I feel like for some of you, this is basically saying that, the universe wants you to surprise yourself. I feel like your guides want you to exceed your own expectations in life. And that's what I would do here. But I don't know. Let's dig into this here, Gemini. You have the Queen of Cups. Yes. Queen of Cups, I've been saying this to you for weeks. Queen of Cups, she is very focused on that trophy. I always say that on the Queen of Cups, it's almost like a trophy. It's not like a cup that she's holding. It looks like a trophy, right? I feel like your guides want you to keep your eye on the prize. Queen of Cups is a card if it wants to focus here, Gemini. Queen of Cups is a card of keeping your eye on the prize, staying focused. It's a card of intuition and nurturing energy. But I feel like it's saying keep your eye on the prize, on something you want. You have the Seven of Swords here. Don't trick yourself out of something that could be good for you here. I would be careful. I would definitely, just as a side note here, Gemini, I would be careful of any liar, cheater, stealers that you've dealt with in the past with the Seven of Swords here. Someone doesn't take you seriously. He has these polka dots on his shirt here. Gemini, and the polka dots in tarot represent needing to not take something too seriously. But the message I'm getting is if you're dealing with a person who has hurt you from the past, I feel like this person does not take you seriously. It's like they don't. The weird thing that I'm getting is that you've dealt with someone where it's like you prove to them constantly that you're serious, but they don't take you seriously, and that is the energy I get here. Totally messed up energy. In a lot of ways, I feel you're dealing. When I see stuff like this, it's like you're dealing with a person with trauma. And, I just feel that you need to move on to something new. And finally, you have the Six of Pentacles here. Yep, teamwork makes the dream work here, Gemini, for sure. So I would just work on a team on anything that you're doing. But let's clarify through, we're not clarifying. That's that. Very simple reading, very straightforward. Keep your eye on the prize. And go through the portal, right? Do what is hard, because I feel like on the other side of that is going to be a lot of success. So we're going to do a pick a card here, Gemini. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3. It's not actually a pick a card. You can think of 3 questions if you would like. So pause the video now, 1, 2, and 3 if you need to think of your questions. I'm also going to put those all together and just answer them if you don't have a question. For question number 1, deck is still upside down. You have the High Priestess. I would say yes, but it's like something needs to be revealed. It's almost like she's holding something here. It's like this ship right here that is going through the King of Cups. This ship is coming out on the High Priestess here. So, but I would say yes. For question number 2, I would say no. 5 of Swords here. Heartbreak, sadness. So I would say no. For question number 3, I would also say no. I feel like something is hidden for question number 3. I feel like I'm not trying to be mysterious or anything like that, Gemini, but I do feel like there's something you don't see. There's like a mystery. I do feel like it will come out, though, especially if you're asking about a person. I just feel like there's something, it's like there's something this person's keeping behind their back almost is the energy I'm getting. So I would say no. Putting this all together, mysteries, right? So clearly there's a mystery in your life. I feel like you need to trust your intuition. If there's something that feels off, you need to trust that. If there's something where you feel like you don't have all the details, it's almost like the message that is popping into my head here, Gemini, is that if you don't know all the details, that is the answer. Those are literally the words that are popping into my head. So I feel like you need to trust that here, Gemini. But very good reading, Gemini. I feel like you're kind of like stepping through a portal, and that will make you successful. So I like it. But thank you, Gemini, for watching. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you this month. And thank you for watching. And I will see you next month. I don't know where I was going with that. So thank you, Gemini, and definitely enjoy your month.